back to Seeds of Success, where we share practical ideas to help you create better experiences, stronger teams, and lasting success. I'm Orly, and joining me today is someone who understands that sometimes the smallest details make the biggest difference. My co-host, Dottie.
Hi, Orly. That's so true. Sometimes it's the little things that people remember the most.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're talking about today. Think about the last time you visited a restaurant, hotel, store, or entertainment venue. You probably don't remember every detail of the experience, but chances are you remember how you felt when you left. Maybe someone thanked you for coming, maybe an employee went above and beyond, or maybe nobody acknowledged you at all.
And that last moment is what sticks with you.
Yeah, it really does. Today's episode is called The Last Impression Wins, and we're talking about why the final few minutes of a guest visit can determine whether they come back, tell their friends, or completely forget about you. Let's start with a simple question. Why do endings matter so much?
Wow, that's a good question, Orly. It's because people tend to remember the highlights and the ending of an experience. Think about movies, for example. People can sit through 2 hours of a movie they enjoy, but if the ending is terrible, that's what they talk about afterwards.
Yeah, that's true. Nobody leaves the theater saying, the first 90 minutes were amazing. They talk about the end of it.
The same thing happens in entertainment centers. Guests may have bowled 3 games and spent time in the arcade, had a pizza, celebrated a birthday, and laughed all afternoon. But the way the visit ends has a huge impact on how they remember the entire experience.
Yeah, let's talk specifically about bowling and entertainment centers. What are those final moments typically like?
Well, after the fun is winding down, one of 2 things usually happens. Guests either leave feeling appreciated or they simply walk out.
Yeah, there's definitely a big difference between those 2 experiences.
Absolutely. Think about the family that's gathering their belongings after 2 hours of bowling. The kids are grabbing prizes. Parents are finding shoes and jackets. Everyone's getting ready to leave. That's an opportunity. A simple thanks for spending your afternoon with us can leave a lasting impression.
Yeah, and one thing we've talked about in previous episodes is that people remember feelings more than details.
They sure do. Guests may not remember what lane they were assigned. They might not remember what time they arrived, but they'll remember whether they felt welcomed and appreciated.
And that's good news because creating a memorable ending doesn't require a huge investment.
Not at all. Sometimes it's a sincere thank you or maybe a smile. A staff member remembering a guest's name. I don't know about you, but I love to walk out and somebody say, thanks, Dottie. See you next time.
Yeah.
Asking if everyone had a great time. Those moments feel personal. And personal experiences create loyalty.
There's something else I want to talk about that we've talked about in previous episodes. That warm, fuzzy factor. How do businesses create those moments?
Well, first, I love that term. You know that because everyone knows exactly what it means. It's that feeling when someone leaves thinking, that was really nice.
Yeah, and it's hard to measure, but easy to recognize.
Yes, and creating that feeling doesn't require grand gestures. For example, a birthday child leaving with a congratulations message from the staff, or an employee congratulating someone on a high score. Maybe even recognizing a family's first visit, simply thanking guests for choosing your center. Those little moments make people feel seen.
So we've talked before about people buying from people, not brands. I think that applies here too.
It sure does. Guests don't form relationships with buildings. They form relationships with the experiences and the people who create them.
Yeah, and that's where team members make a huge difference.
Yes, a great employee can create repeat business without ever realizing it. When somebody is friendly and helpful, authentic, guests remember that. The next time they're deciding where to spend their entertainment dollars, they think, let's go back there. That place was great.
All right, so let's make this really practical. What would you say are the 3 simple things every center can do before guests walk out the door?
Gosh, I love practical ideas. Let's start with number 1. End every visit with gratitude. Thank guests for choosing you, not because you have to, but because you genuinely appreciate them. Nobody wants to feel like they're just another transaction. Second of all, give them something to look forward to. Tell them about an upcoming event or mention an upcoming promotion. Invite them to return to a Friday night cosmic bowling. Plant the seed for the next visit. And third, celebrate something. Celebrate a birthday. Celebrate a personal best score. Celebrate a first-time visit. Just celebrate a great day. People remember positive recognition.
Yeah, this might throw some people off, but this is interesting. There's a difference between a satisfied guest and an excited guest.
Yes, satisfied guests leave thinking. Absolutely. Satisfied guests leave thinking, that was good. Excited guests leave thinking, we need to come back.
Yeah, that's a great distinction.
And often the difference comes down to these final moments. Did we just complete the transaction or did we complete the experience?
I think this would make a great challenge for managers.
I think so too. Here's a fun idea. Challenge your team to create one memorable goodbye moment during each shift. Just one. Maybe it's helping a family take a group photo. Maybe it's congratulating somebody who bowled their best game ever. Maybe it's thanking a guest by name. Small effort, but big impact.
I love that because it turns guest experience into something intentional. So here's your challenge this week. Take a walk through your guest journey and focus on the very end. Ask yourself, what is a guest experience during the last 5 minutes of their visit?
And more importantly, how do they feel when they walk out the door? Because that feeling often determines whether they'll come back. At the end of the day, every guest leaves with a story. The question is, what story are they taking with them? In a bowling and entertainment center, we spend a lot of time thinking about attractions, promotions, games, food, and events. Those things matter, but often it's the final interaction that becomes the lasting memory. A genuine thank you, a friendly goodbye, a moment of recognition, a reason to smile on the way out the door. Those small moments create loyalty. They create repeat visits, and they create the kind of guest experience that people tell their friends about. So this week, pay attention to the ending, because when it comes to creating memorable experiences, the last impression just might be the most important one. Listeners, thanks so much for joining us today on our Seeds of Success. If you enjoyed today's episode, share it with your teammates, your manager, or anyone looking to create a stronger guest connection. Until next time, keep growing your business, one happy customer, and one amazing experience at a time.